Today we're going to be going over the camera kit and the lens package we bring to almost every job. So first, it's the package here. This is our baby, our FS700. On pretty much every job we bring two 1510 Pelican cases. One has our camera, the Odyssey 7Q, and some of the stuff we use to rig it up in our shoulder rig configuration. The other has our lenses and some odds and ends, bits and pieces. So this is our FS700 kit. And I'm going to try to show this so you can see it. But we were kind of torn in the beginning whether to go with the, whether to put the lid organizer in or not. The reason we use these is because right now airlines don't weigh carry-ons, and we can get these things loaded down to probably close to 40 pounds. And that allows us to take a lot more stuff on the plane where it's safe and kind of everything we need to build up this rig all in one. If they do start weighing them, we are probably going to totally change this around, and we might not even use Pelicans anymore, because Pelican cases weigh, I think, like 15 pounds maybe, like basically empty. So they're heavy as is. So if you have to meet a weight requirement, they're not the best carry-on to bring. But they're awesome. We keep our stuff in here in my gear closet. When we're taking gear in and out from a job, we throw these on a dolly, and you know, they're stackable, so it's nice to take a bunch in at once. But inside, you know, we keep all of our SDI cables, remote trigger, and some backups for those. Then we have the handle and the remote. I keep the shotgun mic and everything over here. This is all of our 90-degree adapters for our 15mm rods and a couple bolts and screws. Here's all of our 15mm rods. We're going to do a separate video on how I rig up the FS for our handheld. We got it dialed in pretty good, pretty close, so check that out in another video. Here's our FS700. Over here we have the top handle, the Odyssey 7Q, which we put into a tablet neoprene sleeve, and we face the, I actually keep the SSDs inside of the Odyssey. I know there's probably a better way to do that, but that's how we've been doing it for like a year and a half now with no problem, so that works. We have our loop in here, our viewfinder, and sun hood for the Odyssey. Then here we have, this is kind of a piece I made, and it's nice to rest your hand on when you're using the follow focus. Again, that'll be in another video. We'll show how that works. Follow focus. Our follow focus and our handheld rig is like, it's a medium to low end unit. The handheld rig part's awesome. The follow focus is pretty decent. It works, but eventually we're going to upgrade that probably to like an O'Connor or something, you know, to last a lifetime. This is our weight that we throw on the back to counter the handheld rig. Throw this back in. SD cards, and then here is the backbone of the handheld rig right here. So, you know, our rods and everything mount onto this, and we build everything around this. And then I think it's a Sony VCT plate maybe. I don't know, I'll have to double check. But that's how it mounts. So that's nice because it has a mounting point in the rear and in the front, and you can get your shoulder kind of further up in the rig than you can on other units. So it's nice because you can get the center of gravity of your rig right on your shoulder rather than out in front. So yeah, that's it for the FS. Again, at one point we did have it in a 1510 Pelican case that had foam on the top. And I'm sure that offers more protection, but we haven't had any issues, and we fit a ton of gear into this one Pelican, so we're probably going to keep going with that. These cases are awesome to store stuff in. The only downside is they're heavy because they are so bomb-proof. So if you have to meet a weight requirement, then they're not that great. Next up is our lens Pelican. Here, they got me grunting a little bit. Definitely a little weight to them. Same thing, 1510. We have the lid organizer on this one as well. Extra caps because we always seem to take lens caps off and then don't have a back cap or a body cap for something. So there's a bunch of extras there. Up here we have two, we have a Tiffin and a Lightcraft Workshop variable ND filters. We don't use them too much because the FS has built-in NDs, but when we use like a A7S or something as a B cam, then we need to put a filter on. Some extra tripod plates. Then we have our director's monitor here with the HDMI cables to run to that and SDI cables. Then my favorite lenses, probably one of the favorite things that we shoot with regularly, are Contax Zeiss lenses. We use the 80 to 200, which you can pick up for like $200 on eBay. It's an awesome push-pull manual zoom, and when you use it with a camera like the A7S II, that has sensor stabilization. You know, you don't need to worry about wobbly footage. I mean, you do still, but you get a lot of the stabilization in the sensor that you would normally get in something like a Canon 70 to 200 image stabilized lens. So these are awesome, super light, super cheap, and amazing picture. That's an f4, but it works for us. We use it actually a lot with a speed booster, so it makes it like a 2.8. We have the 18 millimeter Contax Prime and f4, 25 Contax Prime as a 2.8, and the 50 Contax Prime, which is a 1.4. We probably use the 25 and the 50 90% of the time, just because we have focus rings on those and everything. The apertures are declicked, and we could shoot a whole project with those two lenses. The 25 is probably my favorite. That focal length we seem to use a lot, but the 50 is pretty great too. We use a speed booster, and also this is our new adapter. We use this when we're shooting on the A7S IIs. It's the Photodiox Visualex ND throttle. This is great because this is a variable ND behind the lens, and you can rotate it. So it almost, if you didn't have a declicked aperture, you could do kind of exposure pulls with this. You know, if you're panning from something that is really bright or kind of dark, either way, it's nice to be able to do that. And it's just nice too because you can swap out lenses without having to change the ND, variable ND on the front. So this is awesome. This is an awesome piece of kit. It is a Canon macro filter, and it's 77 millimeter. It's a close-up lens. It's the 500D. But basically it magnifies things, or it brings things 1.5 times closer. So if you have a full frame, it gives you a cropped field of view, but you're still getting the full frame image, if that makes any sense. It's really sharp and it's awesome. We use it all the time on almost every project. So I think that's everything in the lens kit bag. So as you can see, it's not all lenses. We have some odds and ends, but mainly all lenses. All right. And it's kind of the accessory bag that goes with the camera bag. In this, we keep this wonderful thing that we'll be doing another video on. It's the color checker passport. And if you have to deal with S-Log2 footage, this is something you must have. It is amazing. Again, we'll go over that in another video. put in here. We kind of keep some odds and ends rig pieces. Gotta have some tackle boxes with some spare parts. Tripod plates. Different types of super clamps. Can't have enough super clamps. Some of these guys, Matthews clamps. Our handle setup for our handheld rig. Some extra long SDI cable runs. Some miscellaneous rig parts. And some more clamps. We use this stuff all the time, and there's no room in the cases, and it kind of can take a beating. So we put it in these Husky bags. They are for, you know, mechanics and construction workers and things like that, woodworkers, all that. And like anybody in the photo or video business knows, the bags that, if this would say Low Pro on it or something like that, it could be the exact same bag and it would be 10 times as expensive. These work awesome for carrying things that they're not precious pieces. They can get dinged around a little bit. And yeah, they work great. So we have a bunch of these. So that is our kit that comes out on pretty much every shoot. That's just the base camera and lens package. We have, you know, all of our tripods, dollies, things like that come out. So we'll go into another video on those, but thanks for watching this one, and make sure you subscribe and like the video if you like us. If you don't like us, you don't have to thumbs down us, you know. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. Don't thumbs down us either. But if you do, thumbs up us. See ya.